Taurus, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And this is an energy reading, guys. So if you're not a Taurus, first of all, take this message where and how it resonates with you. It's your message. And if you're not a Taurus and this shows up in your feed, well, guess what? It is for you, absolutely. Because it would only show up if you called it into you. And it always shows up at just the right time. And this is where your message begins. It begins with an ending. That's what this is saying. Something is beginning with an ending, and something has had a very painful ending. So it's caused you a lot of trouble and heartache just to get to the point where it's finally over. But I'm just 100%, we're starting with an ending. So something is going to be absolutely over and finished this week. Now, this is not, it doesn't necessarily, it just means that it's been a long, difficult path. Because you have the Ten of Swords, which means there's been a lot of suffering here. So, and clearly you didn't give up, but this is at a point where things are beyond giving up. Things are completely over. So it's even almost beyond your choice, even though this is minor arcana. So this is consciousness. There is an awareness of why you've come to this situation, why you're here, why things turned out the way that they did. So you get it. But this is over. So we begin with an ending, Taurus. And then we have these cards that all came out. We have victory and success coming afterwards. So public recognition, maybe of your suffering, or people, your family, your friends, maybe finally getting to return home after you've been at a distance from people, or in a painful relationship or a situation that kept you separate from people. And now it's like you're able to be around people who care about you and love you again. Or you've ended something else and people are proud of you for doing it. Okay? I don't know. I don't like, take that where it resonates. You're going to be very, very happy. This is you. So this is you being very content with yourself, willing to settle in, and knowing that you can settle in and that you found something that you can sustain. This is coming after an ending. Five of Swords is here. So there was real horrible heartache or suffering. There was being attacked. This is that sense of having everything good that you believed in attacked, and not wanting to talk about it, or not feeling like you could talk about it, maybe because on the outside everybody thought everything was wonderful, and then all of a sudden there's a new chance or a new opportunity that's opened up to finally either speak about it or take action so that you can get away from the circumstance. I think people are going to be very happy because you're deciding to get away from a very toxic situation. And so that's why this ending isn't making everybody miserable. A lot of people are very happy that this finally happened, right? Because you were going through it and you weren't talking about it, or somebody wasn't talking about it, with regards to a new start or a new beginning and a happy sort of re-energization, being energized suddenly again, being inspired, maybe even being inspired by some sort of tragedy that you hadn't wanted to talk about or speak of. But now there's almost like this opportunity to, opportunity because of it. Or you have this newfound passion or direction in life because of it, after surviving. I need to ask the cards specifically what this Ten of Swords is. What is this Ten of Swords? What is this Ten of Swords? What is this Ten of Swords, please? What is this Ten of Swords? What is this Ten of Swords? What is this? Clarify, please. The Hanged Man, it was a situation that you were stuck in. You were very vulnerable. That's why it was so painful. You left yourself very vulnerable. You almost chose to get into this circumstance. I think you wanted to see things from a different perspective, or you felt like you were in a very vulnerable position, and that came to a very maybe tragic or painful end. All I'm knowing now that the Hangman is here, this lasted at least the past year. So this is something that's been ongoing for at least the past year. And now you're coming out in public and speaking about it, or you finally getting the energy this week to come out and speak about it or address it or be able to admit to it, admit what's going on. Or you are working very hard in some sort of organization that stands up for people who have been abused or have been through hard or difficult situations. And it is inspiring you because you know this toxicity is still out there. People still need help and they still don't want to talk about it. That's really interesting. Maybe on some level you had to wait and you couldn't speak about it. Like you were stuck in the situation, or you were stuck somehow, kind of like not being able to speak about it. You're not anymore. It's like the gag order has been lifted and removed. You can now talk about it. Okay? And you need to. That's why you're seeing this message. This is a message of get ready. Get ready to come out and talk about it. And announce it, public recognition, feeling really content about yourself to be able to do this, feeling solid with regards to what you maybe didn't have information on, or what was undermining you, or who was attacking you. Okay, can we just please clarify the Five of Swords? Please clarify the Five of Swords. Please clarify the Five of Swords. What or who is this? Prince of Swords, it means somebody was cutting you with their language. Somebody was persecuting you or speaking at you. These could have been verbal or even written communications, or verbal or written communication, or outreach of some sorts. We had Five of Pentacles here. This could have been somebody who was trying to make you invest too much or lose your money, take away your money, or somebody coming after you financially. Maybe there could have been a lot of debt owed. And then Queen of Cups, which is trying to heal the situation, trying to help. Five of Swords is here. It's almost like somebody taking advantage of somebody who was trying to help, taking advantage of somebody's kindness. A lot of people were worried about you, especially a maternal figure, a mother figure, was really concerned. Maybe somebody was trying to get through to you, and every time they tried to get through, they couldn't reach you, or they couldn't talk to you, or you wouldn't talk to them, like they didn't know what was going on. Or if this is you who was worried and didn't know what was going on because you couldn't reach somebody, you're finally going to get through to them, right? They're finally going to maybe give you another chance, or show back up, or there's a new opportunity with them. This is a very caring, loving energy. Somebody who is very ride or die, but they've been trying to reach you and couldn't. That's what the Five of Swords is. Like they were being blocked, or maybe you were even blocking them, or the conversation had been shut down. Maybe because it had gotten so aggressive, right? Maybe because it had gotten so nasty, or simply because, you guys weren't seeing eye to eye. Whatever this is, somebody's been trying to get through to you, and it has been kind of blocked. Or somebody hasn't been able to get through to you, or you haven't wanted to talk to them. Now there's a sentiment of, well, like I said, the gag order being lifted. So you finally wanting to speak to them, or their communications finally getting through, because they were very concerned about your well-being. And it would have been sometime around this full moon that their message of caring gets through. The sense of, I want to heal this situation. I have a lot of love here. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of healing. Taking an action on loving and healing what was worrying them. Excuse me. Or draining them. Or somebody thought you were majorly being taken advantage of, and you didn't want to hear it. This is why you didn't want to talk to somebody, or vice versa. Like they didn't want to talk to you because you saw something that they didn't want to see, or they didn't want you to see. And that was the Five of Swords. But then it's like there's new options, or there's new opportunities, okay, that are coming from this crazy ass situation. Let's get a moon card. We haven't done that yet, Taurus. So this is in reverse. Your dreams need a practical plan. This is sort of in reverse. So something wasn't coming through for you. It wasn't happening. It's interesting, Taurus, that you would show up in your own reading twice. I don't think you knew how to do this, or somebody was very stuck. Like somebody had gotten in over their head, or they thought things would be easier than it was, or how you were seeing the situation didn't match up with what was really happening in the situation, or the person that you're dealing with and were worried about. It's like you couldn't get through to them. They were very stubborn minded. They didn't want to hear that what they were dreaming wasn't what they were actually experiencing. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what happens now? What happens now? No, not in the past. What happens now? Okay, well, let's start. We have the Hanged Man again, and clarity. I think being stuck and being vulnerable, it's almost like you needed it. You needed to be vulnerable to understand and sympathize with somebody else, or with a situation that you maybe thought you were above or didn't have any experience on, and didn't have any experience with. And it's that experience of being vulnerable and being hung up that made things very clear, and that helped you realize, it's like you gained perspective to be able to move forward, or realizing, I have to move forward to get myself unstuck, right? I have to make that decision. Then we have the Four of Cups, which is realizing I have to make a choice, or realizing now, realizing I have to make a choice. But this is still ambiguous. It's something that somebody didn't want to see. That's why. Somebody definitely, it's almost like somebody was refusing the love that you were trying to give to them, or you were refusing the love somebody was trying to give to you. Because it's like it hadn't dawned on them yet. They hadn't had that aha moment. Somebody was intentionally avoiding turning around and seeing an offer, or they had too much on their plate. But I feel like somebody was intentionally ignoring somebody here. Or felt like they were being ignored. Yeah, because they hadn't heard anything. Or somebody didn't think somebody was qualified to make a decision because they didn't have enough experience. Like, your dreams need a practical plan. It's almost like they didn't have the experience to actually create the practical plan. Somebody wasn't being very practical at all. Okay. Okay, so where are we moving? What's changed in this situation? Like, what happens? Where's the switch that they experience? What happens? Can we, no, not in the past. What happens? An investment comes through. Like, your ships come in from something way in the past. Like, you had invested in something way in the past. And it's almost like that's what shows. So is that what shows up? Like, what are you trying to tell me? What changes? what changes? There was something in the past that was like unfulfilled. This sense of two aces here. It's almost like you had an option, or it's like you had an opportunity that had such potential, but it fell flat. And I think it's because it fell flat because of this shitty situation that you got yourself into, which is why when it's finally ended and over, because it wasn't practical and it didn't make any sense, and ultimately somebody was indifferent to you. That's why people are so happy that you finally got out of this circumstance. Is somebody, probably a maternal figure or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, somebody who's very caring, very loving. They were really worried about you. Yeah, they thought you were in over your head, because you were. It's almost like you were ignoring the people who really cared about you to put effort and energy into a situation that was going nowhere and wasn't well laid out and wasn't well planned. Or we're not talking about you, we're talking about somebody that you're dealing with, in which case this finally cracks their thick skull. Like, not literally, but it finally like breaks through their stubbornness. So it's like, oh, I gotta act differently. I gotta do something differently. So where are we headed then in the future? We're gonna go into that in the extended, but let's get an angel message. There's an angel message for Taurus, please. Oh, God. So we have we have own your divine power, rebalance codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. Self-confidence through God confidence. Believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. And this is in the past. Life-changing epiphany or experience. Guys, look at this. You were supposed to experience something in the past. You were set up for a great success, but then you got involved with some sort of loser or shit opportunity that really fucked you up and set you behind. And everybody's celebrating now because that's over, and that they think that they still believe in you, that this you still have this opportunity, and you do, but you have to find confidence in yourself by reconnecting to the divine, because this situation has broken you down a little bit, and you have to come back into a full sense of your own power. Let's go to the extended. I'll see you guys there.